All right, guys, so I'm going to record social studies, and the best thing about a video is you can always go back and rewatch it. So I'm going to talk relatively quickly. I'm not going to pause and review as much as I normally would. I just want to get you the information. All right. So we know that we're focusing on geography. As soon as we can master geography, continents and oceans and where we live, then we can dive into history, which is my favorite part. So we're going to start big. Obviously, we live on planet Earth. However, if I said to you, hey guys, I'm having a party, and you said, hey, where's the party at? And I said, it's on Earth. That's not very descriptive. So we need to be able to talk about where things are and where we are in a much more detailed and descriptive way. So we know that if we look at the surface of the Earth is made up of land and water. We're going to focus on continents and how the land is broken up into big chunks, and we're going to focus on the oceans and the water that covers the Earth. All right, some basic vocabulary that we need to cover is going to be the first thing, what do you call the part of a map that gives direction? So here's some examples of what you might see on a map that kind of lets you know which way is north, south, and whatever. This is called the compass rose. And the compass rose can either give our 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. And please make sure that you know that probably the biggest thing that kids confuse are east and west. But if it's correct, with north at the top, from east to west, or excuse me, west and east should say wee. And if you have them backwards and it says ew, you're wrong. The 4 cardinal directions are great, but it's nice to have those directions that are in between the cardinal directions, northwest, southwest, northeast, and southeast. Those are called, and I realize my face is blocking you here, those are called the intermediate directions. So that is important vocabulary. Again, you can always rewind and review that. When it comes to what shape is our Earth, I don't know where to put my face. I'm going to maybe get rid of my face for a little bit. I don't know how to do that. We're going to X out of my face there. What is the shape of our Earth? So our Earth is kind of shaped like you're seeing here, just like a basketball. And that shape, it's not a circle. Circles are flat and round. When it's 3-dimensional like the Earth, it's called a sphere. And that's going to be helpful when we talk about what we call half of an Earth. So if I take the Earth and I take an imaginary knife and I cut it in half, it is called a hemisphere. Hemi means half, so it's half of a sphere. And there's 2 different ways we can cut the Earth. We can either cut it going across, creating a northern half or a northern hemisphere, and a southern half, a southern hemisphere, or we can cut it straight up and down, right through the North and South Pole. And that would create the western and eastern hemispheres. Now, the imaginary line that would go across is called the equator. And the imaginary line that goes up and down and cuts it vertically is called the prime meridian. Now, the one you're probably more familiar with is the equator. And that is because we learn in science that the closer you are to the equator, the warmer it is, which means the 2 coldest spots are going to be as far away to the north as you can go, the North Pole, and as far away to the south as you can go, the South Pole. And that's going to pop up later. So again, the equator and the prime meridian. The last thing is, what is the difference between a globe and a map? A globe is shaped like the actual Earth, and a map is flat. And even though a globe is more like the actual Earth, in the classroom, it makes more sense for us, and even on the computer, it makes more sense for us to use maps to represent what we need to see in teaching. So even though a globe is more accurate, we are going to be using maps in the classroom, okay? What I need you to realize is sometimes maps can look a little bit different. So I'm gonna put a smiley face where we are on this first map, and I'm gonna put a smiley face where we are on the second map. Now the map is still of the same Earth. The only difference is where we cut open the globe to create that map. So I'm gonna go back to this video, and there's no sound in this video, but I do just want you to kind of look here. And this is a map. And when the map folds up together to make the globe, you can kind of see how it does that. But then when it's time to open it back up again, it opens it up and it peels kind of one side part of the globe to the left and one side to the right. So depending upon where we cut the globe open, will determine kind of what that map looks like. And so it's really important to always know where we are on a map. And that's something that we're going to be focusing on too. So when it comes to continents and oceans, we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to make the video in small chunks. What I want you to make sure that you do is that you understand all of the vocabulary that we've just gone over before looking into the next video.